about this already, right? Yeah. In today's Mom's Word, it's a dilemma we've all experienced. I definitely have. Disciplining someone else's kids. You know, is it up to you? Do you say something? Do you bite your tongue? Is it ever okay to discipline someone else's child? Well, here to weigh in is our contributing psychologist and friend of the show, Dr. Lawrence Balter, and Parent Magazine's health editor, Corridan. So nice to have you. So, lots of people step in and say many things when you have a child. So, Cara, let's do some scenarios. You have a friend, they come over to play, the mom isn't around, they do something wrong when they're interacting with your child. What do you do? Maybe they poke them, hit them, slap them, bite them.
Yeah, I've been there. What you do is you enforce the rules of your house, and you have to, because if you don't, then the next time that child comes over, they don't know the rules, and then your own child is getting mixed messages like, oh, it's all right for us to jump on the couch?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Okay, so you enforce it, saying these are the rules of our house. You make it very clear, right?
Yes, that's a very good idea. Say we have house rules, and maybe different from where you are.
Okay.
And these are the things. I don't want you jumping on the couch. I don't want you to pull the dog's tail, whatever they happen to be doing. Give them a warning, and then the second time they do it, you can say, you know, we're going to have to cut the date short if you continue to do that, and do it in a nice way, not in a punitive way.
All right, but what if you're, I have an older child, you're in the playground, and you notice somebody that's, you know, sort of pushing your kid around, and you don't know this other mom or this other father. Where are the parameters with that one?
Yeah, well, if they're strangers, I mean, you have several options here. One is you take your kid and remove your child from the situation, which sometimes the kid feels is unfair. Why should they not be able to play if another kid's acting bratty? You can do that subtly, or you can do it in a more pronounced way. You can say, look, we're going to leave now because I don't like the way he's behaving. He's being kind of bratty.
Okay.
The other way is, so
have
the
you
other
done
parent
that?
hears that.
I mean, that's kind of hard. What have you done?
Well, I think, you know, you can step in and kind of say, look, we don't do it that way here. This is what we'll do. We'll take turns. You go first. I encountered this yesterday. You take turns and go ahead, try that. And
precisely, yes. That's right. Walk into the situation. It's not like disciplining. It's intervening and giving the other parents a model, and also showing the kid, like, I don't like he keeps taking stuff from my kid. I know you want to share this. Let me show you how we can do it. And get right down there at the level and do it. It's work, but it's a better way to do it.
It is work. How about disciplining your child when a family member steps in and now, you know, breaks the house rules? What do you say then? How do you have that confrontation with a family member?
In a way, it's easier because,
you think?
Well, they're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to alienate them forever. You got to handle it right, and it's just a matter of, again, kind of enforcing the house rules and like, how we do it here. Sorry.
Yeah.
And just kind of make light of it. And, you know.
Well, sometimes it's a problem because if you've left your child with a family member and they're supposed to be in loco parentis, and they do it differently. Well, if you're expecting a favor from them, like watching your kid, then they do something different. That puts you into a dilemma. Do you let them do it their way because you're counting on them to look after your kid? Or do you then say, look, I want you to take care of my kid, but, and they can say, well, I'm sorry, this is my place, and this is how I do it.
I've been online at the grocery store where a woman actually disciplined my child, like, you know, said that, oh, you can't do that. And I was just kind of like, what's he doing? He's in a grocery cart, you know? And it turns into a confrontation between, you know, two parents, and you're like, oh, gosh. And you don't want to have that confrontation, but, you know, I think it's all about, you know, setting parameters, like you said, this, but I feel like I'm condescendingly talking down to a parent. Well, this is what we do in our family. And it's like you have this speak, and it kind of is like, ugh. And why does it have to be so contrived, you know? Why can't it be like an actual conversation that we're having?
It's different than the way it used to be. You know, when we were growing up, it wasn't a big deal for another parent to step in and say something. In fact, your parent probably expected it and welcomed it.
And actually, they would actually believe the parent over you, right?
Yes. I think, you know, parents know each other, maybe not as well as they did back in the day. You know, I think that contributes to it.
I got it. So there's a shift that we're having.
Yeah, well, parents also feel as though kids are a reflection of them. So if you criticize the kid, you take it as a criticism.
Oh, that's true.
And you become defensive.
That's a whole thing. That's a whole other thing.
Difficult to navigate. That is very difficult.
That's another. I think that's another mom's the word. Thank you so much, Dr. Balter. Thank you, Cara, for coming in and for your perspective. Dr. Balter always has advice. He's got a blog on our website. We want you to check out PIX11.com/morning news. Also, check out our website for the latest issue of Parents Magazine. Lots of great information in here. And, of course, Cara always has some good advice.